We start from the nation's capital, where the Independent National Electoral Commission says it is committed to working harder to address the challenges experienced in the last election. And the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says nothing else will be acceptable to Nigerians. He also said ad hoc staff found to be negligent, whether they are regular or ad hoc staff, will not be involved in the forthcoming elections. The chairman of INEC said this when he met with the resident electoral commissioners for the third time in less than 2 months to fine-tune preparations ahead of the governorship election. Mr. Yakubu says the commission has received reports from the state offices, complaints and petitions from political parties and candidates. INEC says winners have been declared for 423 national legislative seats, while supplementary elections will be held in 46 constituencies.
Winners have also been declared for 423 national legislative seats, while supplementary elections will be held in 46 constituencies. In the Senate, 98 out of 109 seats have been declared. So far, 7 political parties have won senatorial seats, while in the House of Representatives, 325 out of 360 seats have been won by 8 political parties. As we approach the governorship and state assembly elections, we must work harder to overcome the challenges experienced in the last election. Nothing else will be acceptable to Nigerians.
To Ogun State now, where the politicians and party supporters have been warned to avoid anything that may lead to breach of peace before, during and after the governorship and state assembly elections. The Commissioner of Police and the resident electoral commissioner in the state gave the warning during a stakeholders meeting with leaders of political parties and House of Assembly candidates. Our correspondent Kazim Olowe has more on this.
As politicians in Ogun State prepare ahead of March the 11th governorship and state assembly elections, security men and the Independent National Electoral Commission have advised them to keep to the rules and avoid things that can cause unrest in the state. While speaking during the opening session of the program, the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, Frank Umba, said the police will not tolerate any act or violation of the Constitution and the Electoral Act.
Disorderly conduct at the election polls or inciting disorderly conduct at the polling units is punishable by 12 months imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 naira or a combination of both. Unlawful possession of weapon, all kind of weapons, will not be allowed.
He maintained that political party supporters and their leaders must know what they are not expected to do and what they can do on election day.
The last time we spoke to the media, we also reminded citizens of the restriction on the use of telephones at the polling centers. Some people try to put the rec out of context, and I want to say clearly that we have not in any way outlawed the use of phones on election day.
On no account must anybody come in vehicles or come up in logos or have face caps or T-shirts bearing logos of our political parties.
Party leaders also used the opportunity of the stakeholders' engagement to ask questions and to commend the police in the state for providing adequate security arrangement during the presidential and national assembly elections.
Things in the Ogun State were very peaceful compared to other states in Nigeria.
Cast your vote and go home. No fracas, no police arresting, no intimidation, no all those kind of things. So we give kudos to you.
With this interaction, it is expected that the politicians and their followers in Ogun State will play by the rules and support the Electoral Commission and the security agencies in achieving peaceful exercise. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Abeokuta.
An observer group has released its own findings about the conduct of the presidential election. ASQ Development and Training Nigeria believes the Independent National Electoral Commission and other relevant government agencies were able to surmount the challenges encountered during the polls. Jane Francis Nweze reports.
It is a period of claims and counterclaims about just how credible the election was, bearing in mind challenges encountered during its conduct.
Is hereby declared the winner.
On Wednesday, Independent National Electoral Commission announced the All Progressives Congress candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the presidential election. Many observer groups have accepted its outcome, while calling for adjustment and improvements to be made for future elections. ASQ is more concerned about what direction the president-elect would take the country. It urges him to pay adequate attention to sustainable youth development through innovative and vocational skills. Its Chief Executive Officer Samson Adeosun acknowledges the shortcomings and flaws of the process and the hurt this has caused across some divides.
With every peace-loving and progressive-minded citizen of our country to call on all to view the larger picture of the gains made by the successful conduct of this election, rather than through the prism of our personal and sectarian aspirations. Any crisis upheaval resulting in breaking of law and order would be highly damaging to every one of us and even cripple our socio-economic and political lives.
But the organization, which is committed to accelerated nation building, says it has assessed the life and pedigree of the president-elect and is convinced he is competent.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will return days of economic boom and secure social life to Nigeria. ASQ used this medium to enjoin the incoming administration of His Excellency Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu to pay needed and adequate premium sustainable youth development through innovative vocational skills, transfer programs, as this is most assured conduct to reinforce our small and medium enterprise, SME sector, and enhance the nation's per capita income and gross domestic product.
With the governorship and State House of Assembly election coming up on Saturday, March 11, ASQ calls on all Nigerians, especially the youth, to toe the line of peace or charging INEC to do a self-re-examination in order to remain credible. Jane Francis Nweze, TVC News, Abuja.
On to Osun State now, where the Asiwaju Musulumi of Yoruba land, Tunde Badmus, has urged the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to follow to the letter the manifesto of the party when sworn in. Mr. Badmus said this in Osogbo at a gathering of the sons and daughters of the town, and our correspondent, Rafiu Hamid, reports.
It's a gathering of sons and daughters of Osogbo land. They are here on the invitation of the Asiwaju Musulumi of Yoruba land, including Edo and Delta, Alhaji Tunde Badmus. He appreciates them for being peaceful during the just concluded presidential and National Assembly election.
In the past, we are divided, and in this division, people were not aware of what and what to do. This is a Osogbo community that has about almost 200,000 registered voters. And all along, we have not been utilizing it.
So the goal is to ensure that we have peace, which the state is known for in this city, for the economic development of the whole state.
Asiwaju Bola Tinubu was declared the president-elect by the Independent National Electoral Commission on Wednesday and was also issued certificate of return alongside his vice. Tunde Badmus says Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has made his marks in Lagos as governor with an assurance that he will do better.
These rallies want to show the world how important it is for power to rotate.
Apologize for that mix-up there. Well, let's quickly move on to our next story, where the kinsman of the governor of Aminu Masari has joined millions of supporters to celebrate the victory of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu at the just concluded election. The youths, elderly and women occupied the streets of Katsina to celebrate his victory. Our correspondent, Abdul Latif Yusuf, reports.
The organizers of these rallies want to show the world how important it is for power to rotate within the nation for fairness and development. The victory of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not for him and the party alone, but for the entire people of Katsina who have worked day and night to contribute for the cause. We are praying for Allah's guidance to our president-elect to enable him to do more than what is on ground. We trust he will touch our lives through his policies and programs. The peaceful rally also featured special prayers. The APC supporters also urged the people to come out to support the party in the next elections. Abdul Latif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.